Hello and welcome back, my gorgeous Washaya Wellness Warrior. Today's episode is going to feel like a deep exhale. Like that moment when you finally release your shoulders, you drop them, and you truly realize how tight they've been for years. Today we're going into something that no one really warned you about, and that's the way that your body has been trying to protect you from the life that you were forced to live. And I want to start by saying the thing in corporate. And I want to start this by saying the thing that nobody in corporate ever says out loud. You were never built to function like a machine. You were built to move in waves. Your body, by default, has a rhythm. Your hormones work in seasons. Your womb and womb space have cycles. The energy within you rises and falls in the same way that the moon does. Your nervous system needs rest in order to repair. Your creativity needs space to breathe. None of your softness, none of your changing energy needs, none of your cyclical nature matches the corporate timeline. Because the corporate timeline wasn't really designed for human bodies in mind, let alone feminine bodies. Your body has been screaming about this mismatch for years. You just thought it was stress, or being busy, or it's just work. But here's what's actually happening. Your cycle has 4 seasons, right? There is a natural order of things, and within that there are hormones and your energy that are a part of that cycle. But with the corporate world, there is only one season, constant output, constant doing, constant demand. And the issue with that is that you're expected to be in peak productivity mode every single day of every single month. There's no space really for softer days. There's no winter. There's no moments to hibernate and slow down. There isn't really any way to incorporate rest into that constant output and constant need and desire or demand for productivity in the corporate world. So in order to survive the corporate world, your body learned to suppress its natural rhythm. And that was all purely for survival, to make it through, to push through. And maybe you noticed it in subtle ways. Your period may have got heavier. It may have disappeared altogether. Your PMS may have started to get worse. Your cramps became sharper. Your libido began to disappear entirely. Your energy became unpredictable. Your emotions felt harder to regulate, and your intuition felt muted. None of that is random. Your womb and womb space is the first place that holds onto these memories, and it was the first place that actually recognized things weren't in alignment for you. Your hormones are the first thing to respond to stress, and your cycle is then the first thing to shift when you've been pushed too far for too long. Your body wasn't malfunctioning, it was communicating with you. But the corporate world never taught you how to listen. Now we're going to go into talking about your nervous system, because this is a huge piece of not only what I do, but also addressing your nervous system and knowing what it is, how it works, and what you can do to help yourself as you are navigating burnout is really, really helpful. So, the thing with corporate environments is that they keep you in low grade fight or flight mode constantly. So this isn't the same really as like a big event that causes you to think, oh my gosh, I'm in danger, I can't function because that thing was really scary, my life was in danger, and it was a one-time thing. And then once you are able to kind of come out of that situation, you are able to revert back to your default, which at some point would have been just calm or neutrality. What these corporate environments do is they feed your body throughout the day smaller, stressful environments and scenarios that push your body into a state of being on edge. And this fight or flight mode is what drains you, because we're not designed to be in that state for longer than we need to for survival purposes. Like, we need that ability to enter that state to keep us alive and to help us get out of dangerous situations. But being in that space for way too long is not healthy. So the tight deadlines, the really early mornings, the long commutes, the subconscious office politics, the micro stresses within the workday, the just normalized culture of high performance culture, meetings that should have and could have been emails, and also you pretending that you're fine when you're anything but. And when you are around years of that, your body internalizes urgency as just the norm. your nervous system adjusts to be constantly in a state of pressure as if it's the baseline. So already that has completely shifted what the body was designed to do in terms of fight or flight. So that whole system is unbalanced. And here is the complete wild, and here is the wild thing. When you step out of that environment, your body doesn't instantly relax. It doesn't know that you're safe yet. It doesn't know that the danger's gone. It takes time for your body to relearn softness. It takes time to trust slower rhythms again. It takes time to understand that stillness isn't a threat. It takes time to feel safe without the adrenaline pumping through you. This is why women, a lot of the time, say, I feel anxious when things around me are calm. And it's not anxiety, it's unfamiliarity. Your body has been disciplined into a state of constant stress. But your natural state your natural state is not stress. It's to be intentional, it's to be present and embodied. So now that we know about the nervous system, let's dive into your intuition. And you know how you used to get gut feelings about things? How you used to sense that something or someone was off? You'd be able to sense what felt right and what you needed, and you didn't question it. And really think about that time where there was a feeling that you felt, and then you struggled to come up with questions as to why you shouldn't trust it. It's because you already trusted yourself back then. The corporate world trains you to override this instinct, to ignore your body's signals, and to silence those intuitive nudges. It encourages you to choose logic over self-connection. And it's not to say that these two things can't coexist, but it's just, again, the balance and the priorities. So logic takes up a larger portion of your body and brain's capacity, whereas it should be more balanced. And it's the abandonment of that self-connection that has become an issue and is one of the reasons why you are burnt out or heading into burnout. And corporate has encouraged you and demanded that you trust performance metrics over energy levels. So when women actually decide to leave that world behind, the first thing they then say is, I don't know how to hear myself anymore. Like, I don't know how to listen and acknowledge what my body is telling me. And it's not because your intuition disappeared completely, but it's because it was actually drowned out by urgency. It was buried under expectations and muted by the pressure of the corporate world. Okay. Your intuition isn't gone. It has just been quietly waiting for the space and the opportunity to speak again. It comes back so quickly once your body feels safe. So it's time to talk about your creativity. Corporate structures reward linear thinking, but your creativity, she's cyclical. She needs time. She needs the space to wander. And she needs the opportunity to be in her depth. She needs stillness at some points, and she also needs movement at the right time. But overall, she needs inspiration that can't be forced. And when you are in that go, go, go environment, your creativity went dormant. And again, it's not because it left, it's because you had little to no bandwidth in order to nurture those ideas. But the moment that you slow down, you create space, those ideas return, those visions return, they come back to life, the spark comes back, and the desire to create returns. And this is why so many women begin to birth businesses, creative projects, and spiritual callings once they leave the corporate world, because their creativity hadn't gone. It was just smothered by so much that your creativity couldn't breathe. You weren't uninspired. You were exhausted. Now, your womb and womb space collectively hold your emotional history. She holds your stress, shame, exhaustion, boundaries, your unmet needs, and your suppressed desires. So when your body is under chronic stress, your womb and womb space tightens, your energy contracts, and your hormones shift. Your cycles become irregular or painful, and your conception journey, whether it's conception that leads to a baby or conception that leads to a business idea or creative project, and you could even say a conception journey that leads to a spiritual awakening, all of that becomes so much harder. This isn't because your body is broken. It's because your womb and womb space has been protecting you from a life that you weren't meant to survive in. Corporate timelines demand that you operate like a machine. But here's the thing. Your womb and womb space isn't a machine. It's a divine portal. No wonder she shut down. No wonder she whispered for years. No wonder she is only now beginning to soften as you step into a completely different way of living. She isn't failing you. She's guiding you. So, listen. Why does slowing down feel scary? I know you're feeling it. That discomfort when you're not doing something. That fear that you're falling behind. That urge to fill every moment with something productive. That weird guilt that comes up to the surface when you decide, I think it's time for me to rest, and then you actually do it. That's not you. That is your conditioning. Your body was taught that slowing down equals danger, and that rest equals irresponsibility, that ease equals laziness, and that softness is failure. So the moment you allow yourself to breathe, your nervous system goes, what's happening? This isn't normal. But here is the truth. It is normal. You are just remembering what it feels like to be human again. And I'm going to talk to you about alignment. And I'm talking about the real alignment, not the spiritual buzzword or the type that you see curated on Instagram. Alignment is when your body, your mind, and your soul move in the same direction. Alignment is where you pay... Alignment is when your pace matches your capacity. Alignment is when your choices come from and through desire, not obligation. Alignment is when your intuition leads and your actions follow. Alignment is when you stop fighting with yourself every single day. Alignment is impossible inside of the corporate timeline. And I mean, it's impossible for it to be true alignment. Yes, you can be in the corporate world doing something that you love, but there are going to be times where your alignment is thrown off center because of the things you are obligated to do. And I guess that's the same with every job. But here is where we focus on you feeling good. And the fact that alignment is impossible to the description that I've just shared in the corporate timeline isn't because corporate is bad, but it's because it wasn't designed for women who feel deeply, who move slowly, and who need softness in order to thrive. That's where Shaya comes in, because you were trying to be aligned in an environment that was never aligned with you. So no wonder your body rebelled, no wonder burnout happened, and no wonder you felt lost and confused. No wonder something inside of you started whispering, this can't be all there is. That was your alignment calling you back home to yourself. Alright, so where on earth do you go from here? Because once you understand how deeply your body has been impacted, healing becomes more manageable. It becomes easier and gentler because you are opening the door for more compassion, less pressure, and even more embodied presence. You stop trying to fix yourself and you start listening to yourself and what you need. You stop forcing productivity and you start honoring energetic and physical cycles that fit you, your body, and your emotions. Because of this, you stop pushing your body and you start partnering with it consciously. Your pace changes. Your priorities shift. Your inner world recalibrates. And then because your inner world recalibrates, things in your outer world begin to change. Your womb and womb space begin to soften. Your nervous system resets. Your intuition comes back and says, hey, I missed you. Your creativity comes back. You begin to fall in love with creating all over again. And you realize that the life you thought that you wanted was never your life at all. It was the one that you were conditioned to choose. The life that is meant for you, it's softer, it's richer, it's even more nourishing, it's slower, intuitive, cyclical, creative, embodied, womb-led, and most importantly, it's yours. Your body has been waiting for this version of your life for a very, very long time. You're not behind. You're not broken. You are evolving. You are recalibrating. You are transitioning and coming back home to yourself. Your body was never designed for the corporate timeline. You were built for rhythm, for softness, depth, creation, meaning, and for a life that breathes with you instead of against you. Welcome back to your body. Welcome back to your rhythm. Welcome back to your creative spark. It's time. Thank you ever so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, I will see you soon.